Hello and welcome to episode 25 of the Catching the Facts podcast here on the Catching the Facts official podcast network. I'm your host, Dan Sisk.
And I'm Schroeder.
And guys, we are back 2 weeks later, another big offseason recap episode. We are recording this the night before free agency officially opens in the National Football League. There have been a number of deals that have been signed already in the little 3-day period that leads up to free agency. But the official period opens the day this is actually going up. So we're gonna have a lot to talk about next episode. However, guys, the last 2 weeks have been absolutely insane. There's been so much news. There's honestly, Eric, there's way too much to talk about. I mean, we'd be here for like 3 hours if we talked about all of it. So we decided to pick the big ones, and we're going to be breaking all of those stories down for you. So a lot of news to get to. Eric, you ready to get started?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, guys, we're going to start off with a bit of a sad story here. Lou Holtz, the head coach of the University of Notre Dame for a number of years, I believe 10, has passed away at the age of 89. One of the best college football coaches of his era. Probably not, I don't know if I'd put him top 5, but you could definitely argue he's top 10. He's a member of the College Football Hall of Fame. He was a really good announcer. I remember back when I was really getting into college football, he was kind of like the leader of the analysts on ESPN, and I learned so much from him and getting to hear him speak. And he always came off as such a kind, generous man. So this news definitely was a bit of a sting because his legacy in the sport is secure. And obviously winning the national championship with Notre Dame is kind of his big legacy. But I didn't realize this until I looked into him before this episode. But he led 6 programs to bowl games, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Because most coaches now, they're maybe good 1 or 2 other places, and then they go 3 other places where they're awful. So the fact that he was able to do that with 6 different programs is pretty amazing. I understand, obviously, the game has changed a lot since he coached, but it's a really big deal. It was just, this is a very tough loss for the college football world. Our deepest condolences to his family, and I'll miss getting to hear him. I've already missed getting to hear him talk for the last 10 years, because again, it was really fun to hear him talk on ESPN. But this is definitely this was an unfortunate story to hear the day it happened, because he was a really, really good guy.
Yeah, it does suck. I mean, such a decorated and respected coach around the nation, I guess. And
Yeah,
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, and he
yeah,
should be recognized as that.
yeah,
He popularized that one quote that hangs above that the Notre Dame players touch every game.
yeah.
Play like a champion today. So,
That's a big deal. That's a
which
big legacy.
it is, yeah, that's a huge deal. One of the most, one of the best college football programs in the nation.
It is.
And he built them up and, built a great legacy for them. And I like that he's being respected in that way now that he's passed with a play like the champion today sign. Then that's gonna just mean more to them, and it's gonna be it's gonna be tough, but a tough season. I'm sure they'll recognize him some way.
Oh, yeah.
For the first home game, and maybe wear like a little patch this year or something for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, this sucks, man. It really does.
Yeah, no, the first home game at Notre Dame, they're gonna have a wonderful tribute to him, and
Yeah.
he
Yep.
deserves it. You
Yep. He
know,
does. Yeah.
he deserves it. So, I mean, he's the last national champion for Notre Dame. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
he's the last coach that actually did something for that miserable, disgusting, horrific program. So he should be recognized, and I'm sure he will. But, tough loss for the sport. Condolences to his family.
Yep.
Okay, guys, now that we have the sad story out of the way, let's get into the meat of the piece. Guys, this broke about 35 minutes ago. I was eating dinner My jaw was on the floor as I was reading it. My parents thought I was having a stroke. Max Crosby, the deal is no longer going through, guys. The Ravens have backed out of the trade agreement with the Las Vegas Raiders for Max Crosby. They saw something in his physical that caused them to uh back out of the deal. I know he had that surgery back in was it late December, early January? I can't remember. Um, and clearly there are issues with that knee. Um, Significant enough that they aren't willing to, you know, let the trade go through, which is just so awful. Max Crosby's future. I feel, Eric, this is such a crazy story because I don't know, the Raiders have already moved on. Like in the
Yeah.
days the trade with in the days since the trade for Max Crosby was announced, they have signed Tyler Linderbaum to a massive contract, and we all know that Max Crosby really really wanted to get paid and was probably going to. I mean, he's one of the best, um, you know, D linemen in the league. We all know this, but he obviously wants to get paid, and
Yeah.
the Raiders just use that money for Tyler Linderbaum.
All of
So
it.
so the Raiders don't. I don't know if they have the funds to keep him. Plus, he obviously hates them for having him sit out the last game of the year. But I mean, he had to get surgery that was significant enough that the Ravens pulled out of a trade. So maybe the Raiders are laughing all the way to the bank now. But yeah, man, it's so rare that a physical goes this poorly, right? It's especially for a true game wrecker like Max Crosby. This is one of the biggest stories of the offseason so far. This is absolutely crazy. I suspect Philly will be knocking on his door. Largely because I know that the Eagles were very interested in trading for him back at the beginning of the offseason. Um and obviously the Eagles had a rough stop in the playoffs this past year, and they clearly need some more weapons, right? And Crosby would be a weapon. Um, this is a huge deal, huge deal. I don't know what's next for the Max Crosby. I think the Raiders are honestly kind of fine. I mean, now
Yeah.
they have they have their replacement for Crosby, right? I mean, I know Linderbaum's a center; he's not going to be what Crosby is, but Linderbaum's really good at his position. And then they're about to get Mendoza, so they're going to be okay. The problem is for Crosby himself. I mean, this is just so embarrassing. Um, I don't really know how you can move forward. I mean, the Raiders won't be able to really get anything for him now because now any team offering a deal for him is going to demand, you know, giving the Raiders far less because of this injury. They won't be able to get the same value. But again, the Raiders they don't care. They have their replacement. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is a sizable move, man. This is sizable. This is crazy.
Yeah, it is, and the Raiders, I think they have the most cap space in the league, but they used it really well. Obviously,
Yes,
they signed Tyler Linderbaum to an $81 million deal.
for a cent.
60 of that is guaranteed, and then they added Quay Walker to like a 40.5 million. Like they spent over $200 million.
Yeah, they're going big
Um,
for Mendoza. They're going big for him.
they are, and I don't mind that. I mean, they added two more edge rushers too. So I mean, they've moved on. They expected this deal to go through with Max Crosby, which I mean, how can you not? But I mean, because how do you fail a physical? I don't know. I
Exactly.
mean, I understand he underwent surgery in January or whatever, but still, I mean, you gotta be ready to accept that you want to be traded like that. You have to know that you're 100% and like you're not gonna fail. So I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of this is on Max Crosby as well. For even agreeing to this.
I agree.
Um, but I mean, you could tell he just wants out of there. And do you really blame him? I mean, they were terrible last year. His talent's just being wasted on a team that's going to get maybe 6 wins.
Yeah.
Um, so do you really blame him? I don't. Then when he wants to go to a good team like the Ravens, that's a good place to go. But now that it's failed, I mean, he is really he's stuck. I mean, I would hate to be one of these edge rushers that the Raiders just signed, because if he comes back, yeah, you're getting a huge payday, but you're not gonna play, and that's what you can't. That's what you came to the Raiders for, to play. So I just can't believe how much money they. I mean, they spent so much money. They spent $280 million on like seven. It's like, yeah, 7 players, I think it is. It's crazy. Like, they're gonna have no money to pay him, and he's gonna want to get paid. He's Max Crosby.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're gonna have to reconstruct contracts. Now, this deal isn't, like, completely out yet, by the way, with the Ravens. Um, it was just got shot down for a little bit, but, I mean, there's no way. Like, they could somehow, he has another physical or something, but, that he passes. So it's not, like, impossible that they can, like, they can, get the deal back going on, but if he sticks with the Raiders, I mean, the guys that they just signed are gonna be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Um But I think the Tyler
Yeah.
Linderbaum sign is really, really good. They need O-line to protect Mendoza, and then Genti, we saw what he was doing with that O-line last year. Really impressive. If he can get an O-line in front of him, he'll run, Mendoza doesn't even have to pass. So, yeah, but this is huge news because I thought this would I thought it was through already. I didn't
Yeah.
know that it wasn't,
I
but
did too, to be honest.
but yeah, I mean, this is news to me. I just learned about this maybe an hour ago. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is a huge situation, and it's not the best situation for Crosby
No.
at all. And like, it's fine for the Raiders because they have so much cap space where if they keep him, it's not that big of a deal. They just might have to reconstruct some contracts. For the Ravens, it sucks. And then for Teller or Max Crosby, it's even worse. So,
I guess
yeah.
my question for you, Eric, would be if you're Crosby and you see the moves that the Raiders are making, do you second guess demanding a trade?
Um, like, to want to go somewhere else?
Yeah,
Like,
like do you like now that he sees the Raiders are actually working to like make their team good, and
yeah.
I mean he knows that they're gonna draft Mendoza. Do you
Right.
think he maybe goes back on demanding out? I mean, I think the odds are small. He
Um,
seems like someone who's really, once he
I
makes a
see
decision, he kind of,
this
lasers in on it, but I don't know.
yeah, the thing with the Raiders is it's not like whenever that Texans run was when they got CJ Stroud and Will Anderson in the draft and made the playoffs. I mean, I don't know if this is a playoff team yet. I don't think they're ready. Um,
I agree with that.
so to be honest, I think if I'm Max Crosby, I would really want to go to even a playoff team that's going to make the playoffs. Because I mean, I don't really blame him. He probably feels like his talent is being wasted on the Raiders, which it kind of is because they're not really doing anything. They have the number one overall pick this year.
Yeah,
So if I'm him, I'm still pushing to get traded, especially after I just see they signed 2 edge rushers that, yeah, he knows he's better than, but if they're not going to pay him what he wants, he's not going to stay. And then, I mean, if he sees, the game, if they're only going to win like, 7 games, maybe, it's not even worth it. I would rather go to a playoff contender that's going to actually produce, and possibly even produce in the playoffs that I can help and, I could be a huge factor in than a team that's just going to get the first, maybe the 15th pick next year in the first round.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if I'm him, I'm still pushing for a trade.
Okay, that's fair.
What do you think?
If I had to guess, he probably will. He seems like the kind of person who, like, once he makes once he decides something, he kind of sets his mind to that and doesn't
Yeah,
budge.
right.
He doesn't seem like someone who's willing to like sit down in a room and talk about feelings.
And especially since they already replaced him pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. They moved on pretty quickly,
Yeah, really quick.
Um, I mean, they look, they didn't directly replace his position. Linderbaum's a center, but still, I mean,
Well, they got 2 edge rushers though.
exactly, right? They didn't. I guess let me clarify. Their big acquisition was not at
Right.
his,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's probably going to go somewhere else. And again, the Raiders are not now. The trade is almost moot. I'd be shocked if they got more than a second round pick for him just because of the injury concern.
True.
But again, I don't think the Raiders really care. I think they take a second round pick all day, every day.
Yep.
And yeah, for Crosby, this is really bad because it really is a bad look after
It is.
after everything he did. in week 17 to show, he stood the team up. I mean, let's just call it like it is. He stood the team up, was pretty unprofessional. And then, behaving the way he did and having this be the result, it's a bad look. So,
Yeah,
uh,
but I mean, props to the Ravens though for backing out of that because I mean, Max Crosby, that's a big name. He's a good player. He's a game wrecker, and
yeah,
the fact that he failed the physical, that's a bad look. But you can't really like. I feel like a lot of teams he would fail the physical, but they would just take him anyway because of his name and maybe his upside. So I mean, that's a big, a big name to not really pull the trigger on, which I mean, you gotta respect that.
yeah,
But
yeah, I agree with that.
yeah, but it's interesting for sure. That's huge news.
Yeah, yeah, that guys, that's the shock of the episode. That's the biggest story. I honestly never in a million years saw that coming. So,
Uh-uh.
yeah,
No.
that's a big deal. That's
Yep.
all I have on that. What about you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, guys, moving on. Let's cover the two big Steeler acquisitions because I mean we are based in Pittsburgh, so we're kind of obligated to cover those deals. They got cornerback Jamel Dean and wide receiver Michael Pittman. Obviously, these two moves are designed to, I guess complement Joey Porter and DK Metcalf, respectively. So, Eric, let's start with Jamel Dean. I think this move is very solid. I don't think it's a home run, but I think it's if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it like a B plus. I think overall the move is really, really solid. I think Jamel Dean has definitely proven himself in Tampa to be a really effective cornerback. Probably not top 10 in the league, but I think in terms of cornerback twos, he's one of the best. And I think it's a really, really, really solid move for the Steelers. Um, Again, Joey Porter needed a partner back there, and yeah, I think he's definitely. I mean, he stays healthy, right? I don't remember him ever having significant health issues. Um,
Yeah.
and Yeah, I think it's a really solid move. They aren't paying too much for him. I believe it's 3 years, 35 or 36 million, so very reasonable. Um, I mean, Trent McDuffie just got what 30 million a year, so I mean that's nothing, right? Um, it's. I think this is a really solid move. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. Now with the injuries though, I think he missed like what 3 games last year, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he missed 3 games last year. But that's the thing, when he's healthy, he's on. He's
Yeah,
really good. So that's gonna be a great pair with Joey Porter Jr., who can be a little handsy at times. He grabs but which he really hasn't learned. I thought he would learn by now, but that's just what he does. He just gets a lot of holding penalties. But he was great last year. I mean, he had a 41% completion percentage on 415 snaps.
that's
That's
impressive.
really good. I mean, he's coming off a great year. I'm surprised they even wanted to trade or whatever, or sign him or something. But I don't know why the Bucks couldn't somehow re-sign him after getting rid of like Mike Evans or whatever. But this is big news, and it's really good for the Steelers.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's like a home run slam dunk. But I honestly think it's a very, very solid move. I mean, we all know Omar Khan is willing to make, moves in the offseason, but he has yet to hit a home run with a
Yeah.
trade or a free agent acquisition. I still don't think this is a
Wow.
home I don't think it's a home run, but I think it's a really solid move. It's one of the best ones he's made in the last couple years, if we're being totally honest. I know the bar's low there, but yeah, I think it's really, really solid. I like it,
Yep.
you know. And then moving on to Michael Pittman. Look, DK Metcalf needed another they needed another receiving weapon uh, on this team. Michael Pittman is someone who, Eric, to put it nicely, is the textbook definition of average receiver. Like I've seen Michael Pittman make very impressive catches, and I've also seen him miss embarrassing catches. I mean, he's very much like DK Metcalf, right? I mean, he'll absolutely lay an egg. Um, I did notice that when for anyone who doesn't know, he was with Indianapolis last year. With Indy, he was someone who started off really solid when Daniel Jones was going on arguably comeback player of the year level season, and then once Daniel Jones got hurt for the remainder of the season, um Pittman disappeared. He was non-existent for the Colts down the stretch. As the team fell apart, he fell apart too. So I don't think he's the kind of receiver that will make up for quarterback deficiencies. He's someone who needs a really good quarterback. And that's precisely the problem, Eric. Who is the Steelers quarterback right now? We don't know.
Yeah.
And I fear that going after a receiver who's so reliant on a solid quarterback play is not really the move when you don't have your quarterback locked down. So from that perspective, I think this move is a bit of a mixed bag. He is solid. He's not bad, but he's not a game changer. And again, he needs solid quarterback play. And we don't know if the Steelers are going to get solid quarterback play next year. So I think it's a bit of a mixed bag. I guess I would say overall my thoughts are mixed positive, if that is such a thing, mixed positive. I think it's a very okay move. I think he's more of a wide receiver 3 than a wide receiver 2, and that's just the reality. But the
Yeah.
Steelers, I mean, we all know Omar Khan likes to, make acquisitions on a budget. This is certainly one of those moves, and we'll see how it works out. But it's not a slam dunk.
Yeah, I like this move because we needed a receiver that can really block, honestly. Because like
Okay.
DK, he's big, but I mean that's really it, which is good in set in a in a sense. But like Michael Pittman, he's not a guy that's going to run a super fast 40 for a go route for a touchdown. That's DK's job.
Yeah.
He's more of a guy that's just going to catch the ball in the open field and he's just going to get open, which is kind of what we need. Because DK, I mean, yeah, he can run really fast and run people over when he has the ball, but even he was a little bit off last year.
Yeah.
And we both agreed that the DK Metcalf signing wasn't a huge signing. Everyone was freaking out about it, but it wasn't like a huge signing.
Yeah. We were
Uh,
both very lukewarm when that happened.
yeah, because his name is DK Metcalf, but he's not that good anymore.
He's not.
Um, now that being said, he's still solid, but I think this is really good. Honestly, this is a great signing because you got Michael Pittman and then DK on the other side. Who are they going to cover? Because they were doubling DK last year, which kind of led to more like Calvin Austin getting open. But now with Michael Pittman, what are they going to do? So, and Michael Pittman, he's a pretty good route runner. So, it's going to be interesting to see, and even Calvin Austin honestly might get some more looks, which he's pretty solid too. He's sneaky fast. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I like this move. Not a lot, but I like it. It's because look, the Steelers needed a wide receiver too, because
Yeah.
their wide receiver 2 this year would have been Calvin Austin, who's not a wide receiver 2. He's a wide receiver 3 at best.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now it's just what's going to happen at quarterback. And that's the big question. What is going to happen? Nobody really knows except maybe the Steelers, and they don't even know probably.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options they can go with, but they could even go like Kyler Murray or something. That wouldn't be bad. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I mean,
And
it's hard to like to mess up too bad right now because Aaron Rodgers, he'll get you by. He'll
yeah.
win, he'll get you a winning record with the team that we have right now. But it's tough to say if you want to just get by or make the playoffs. What do you want?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And here's the thing, Aaron, I agree with you on Pittman, everything you said, but the problem is the quarterback thing. Like I can't
Right.
call this move great until I see what they do at quarterback. I just can't. I'm kind of in a wait and see with
Yeah.
this acquisition because of that.
Well,
And
because like both him and DK, it's not like they can like contort their body and catch some crazy
yeah,
passes. They
they
really
can't.
can't.
They can't.
They're not like, yeah, they're great athletes, but they're not really like they're not like a George Pickens where he'll just go up and grab it out of the air, anything.
Great
So
comparison. Yes.
it's tough in that aspect to where it's like, okay, if they get like just an average QB, how are they going to play? Because they've only really been surrounded by good QBs. And
Yeah.
obviously Michael Pittman was surrounded by Daniel Jones, but still. he wasn't even that bad last year. So
Yeah. And again, mixing Jones with Shane Steichen ended up really working well for both
it
Jones
did.
and Pittman.
Yep.
And Pittman fell apart when Jones went down. So he needs a quarterback. And I don't know. I'm overall I'm pretty positive on it, but I need to see the quarterback move before I can get too excited by it. That's all.
Yep. Yeah.
I agree with
100%.
everything you said. I agree with everything you said. I'm just in more of a wait and see position than you are. But
Yep.
okay. Guys, that's it for the Steelers, I believe. Let's move on to Eric Tua Tagovailoa. Um, okay. I am overall kind of shocked at the reaction to this trade. Eric, I've rarely seen more polarizing reactions to an acquisition. Um, and rather not a trade, it's a free agent contract. I'm sorry. What was I saying?
Yeah.
I've rarely seen a more all over the place reaction. I've seen people give this deal an A minus. I've seen people give this like
Wow.
D's. I've seen people give this. I mean, I have seen people either love this move, hate this move. I've seen reactions all over the place,
Yeah.
and I just I think that's going to spark a really interesting, a really interesting discussion here. I think this move sucks. I really do. I do not understand why the Falcons of all teams would make this move. Now look, they're giving him the minimum, right? Is like 1 million or whatever. So it's literally no risk. It's a 1 year, you know, how bad is how bad is taking a chance on 1 year? I can understand that. I do. However, if the goal is to develop Michael Penix, if that's ultimately the goal, if you still believe that Michael Penix is your guy, and we have yet to see from the Falcons that he's not the guy, right? So I'm going off the assumption that the Falcons still believe he's their man. In what world is Tua Tagovailoa the veteran that you need to help develop Michael Penix? What has Tua Tagovailoa done to warrant being a veteran leader? I'll tell you what he's done. Nothing. You know what Michael Penix is, Eric? He is a left-handed QB that has serious long-term health concerns. Who did they get to mentor Michael Penix Jr.? A left-handed QB who has serious long-term health concerns. It's baffling to me that no one in Atlanta saw that and said, "Huh, maybe we shouldn't do that." Like it's just crazy to me. Look, we all know what Tua was in college. That comeback national
Oh
championship
my.
game where he beat Georgia. I mean,
I mean,
I'm a Georgia fan, and that's like one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. I couldn't even be that mad at at uh at Alabama winning that game. It was just it was a performance that was so godly and inhuman that you just had to watch in awe. And honestly, Georgia fans can't get that upset because they ended up winning back to back later on. So it worked out for all parties involved. But this guy was so special, Eric. And yeah, look, injuries killed him. I mean, Mike McDaniel knows what he's doing. A few weeks ago, we were praising the Chargers hire, right? We were like, Mike
yep.
McDaniel is a great fit there. Herbert's got that's a great move. And Mike McDaniel could do nothing with this guy. It's not because Tua didn't have ability. It's because Tua no longer had the ability that he once did. I'll be honest with you, Eric. Besides Damar Hamlin, the scariest moment I've ever seen watching a game live is when he got hit and had to go into the fetal position. I saw that play and I just I didn't even. It was hard to watch. And
And see,
again,
you say that. I don't even there was multiple times that happened. I don't even know which one you're talking about.
I believe it was the second one, the one where he was like starting to curl up. I mean, it was
Oh,
like
the at the Bengals game or whatever?
yeah, the Bengals game. Besides Damar Hamlin, that's the scariest thing I've ever seen on a field.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely horrible. I think honestly, and this is sad. I think the situation is like Tua just feels he needs to play. Like
Yeah.
his brother played at Maryland, and if you recall, wasn't that bad at Maryland. He was actually kind of
No.
He was actually pretty good, but then in his last season, he went to Penn State, and Penn State assassinated him. Assassinated him on national TV, and absolutely killed him. He got sacked like 7, 8 times in that game, and he was never the same after that. He's now playing in Canada, I believe. So I mean, his brother isn't exactly um bring in the cash. And then
Right.
his I believe his parents, he financially assists his parents. So I think Tua is honestly in a position where he feels he needs to support his loved ones, and that's why he wants to continue playing. And I totally understand that, but honestly, he needs to retire. This is just sad. I just it's I feel we're exploiting this man. And I understand that people will defend it because he's making this decision himself.
Yeah.
He's choosing to continue playing. So are we exploiting him if he's choosing to be exploited? I understand that mentality, but at the same time, like someone needs to. I really hope someone in his inner circle, Eric, goes to him and says like you need to stop because it's honestly sad. Um, I mean, the fact that no team was willing to give him more than 1 year and the league minimum
Right.
says a lot. And I understand he's getting paid a fortune by Miami, but still, I mean, that's just really, really bad. So I think this is a bad move all around. I'm honestly really shocked at the positive response. I do not think he's a veteran leader that can help mentor Penix at all. Maybe you think he is. I'm more than open to having a dialogue here, but I think the move's almost a complete failure. I really do.
Yeah, I was real. I mean, I'm like, it's an interesting move. I don't really understand it
Yeah,
because I understand they're probably gonna get rid of Kirk Cousins,
they are.
who's
They said they're gonna.
arguably better than Tua, but okay. And with probably a less of an injury risk, even though he's older.
Yeah,
He did have a knee injury, but still, I mean, Tua has head injuries. That's way worse. So, and then and Penix coming off of the knee injury. I mean, what's going on here? This whole and then with Kirk and yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's just so bad. I completely agree with everything you're saying.
okay.
It's terrible. Um, I don't understand it. Tua, I don't think is very good. He hasn't been good for maybe 2 or 3 years now. So, he can get you by, but Penix is arguably better.
Yeah,
So, I don't understand it. I don't know what it is with Kevin Stefanski and left-handed Hawaiian quarterbacks.
yeah,
He's
really.
gotta think for them with Dylan Gabriel going to the Browns and then now these 2, Penix and Tua. Like, what's going on here? None of them ever work out. It's like, I mean, Penix isn't bad, but still. He has, like you said, long-term health concerns, along with Tua. This is a bad signing. I don't know what they're gonna do at quarterback because they have, like, 2 just, like, mediocre quarterbacks in there right now. I feel like they have to sign someone else, but I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, this hurts them, and I understand it's the league minimum and the Dolphins are paying him a fortune like you said, but I don't really understand it to,
Yeah.
like, because there's better options out there. Did they sign Tua before, Malik Willis went?
Oh,
'Cause
no.
if they did, that's a big miss.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think they might have. Yes, they did.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big miss.
They did.
Yeah,
They
you
did.
gotta yeah, I don't know what they see in him, but, I mean, I don't see anything, and I don't see any upside really to this. It's just a lateral move, but it's not a good lateral move because they weren't good last year.
Yeah.
So, I don't understand it at all. Makes no sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to some people, and I would love to, in the comments below, listen, but I don't understand it personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
I'm shocked at the positive reaction. I really am.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if this is about Penix, you don't want him mentoring Penix. I'm sorry.
No,
No.
no. I
I
don't think yeah, like you said, considering Tua a veteran presence, he hasn't done anything in the league.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Like, well, let me play devil's advocate here. Jacoby Brissett has done nothing in the league, but Jacoby Brissett has so many years under his belt and so much in-game experience that you can
yeah.
learn from Jacoby Brissett, right?
I think it's like a yeah, it's like a Teddy Bridgewater type of deal as well.
Exactly. Teddy Bridgewater is an excellent veteran presence. I would sign him immediately to be the backup on my team in a heartbeat
Yeah.
because he's well respected in the locker room and
Yep.
he has plenty of in-game experience. Teddy Bridgewater is another excellent example. Josh McCown. I mean, there are a couple that really are good backups,
I mean,
and I
Kirk
just don't.
Cousins, he's a good veteran presence as well.
Agreed. I completely
And
agree.
he's like, I mean, he's done stuff. I mean, I don't understand.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think Tua is a good veteran presence, and it's crazy to even consider him a veteran.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. He's not. Like,
no,
Josh McCown never won anything, but Josh McCown's seen shit, right? And so
right?
you'd want him mentoring you. Tua hasn't. He's not on the field.
No,
So, so much
no.
of the time, right? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens when they're obviously going to compete for the starting gig, and we'll see what happens. But right now, I do not see that move working at all. I don't
Yeah,
see it.
I think Tua's only he's played a full season maybe once,
Good God. Oh, yeah, you can't do that. You can't have him start.
and he's
You
28.
That's really bad. Being that young and only having one complete season. Oh, rough. But okay. I mean, the Falcons, they made their bed. Now they're gonna lie in it. They didn't want to pay
Yep.
for Malik Willis. I get it, but I mean, can you find a better replacement? I don't know. And again, I don't even. I wouldn't be willing to give up on Penix yet. I don't even know why we're calling
No, no,
for
definitely
a replacement. I
right.
just I don't know. We'll see what happens. They're
Penix, you have
obviously
to
going to
remember
compete.
that Penix is. I mean, he came into the league pretty old.
That's very true. He was in college for a while.
So, and that's what hurts, man. Because if one of the if those older guys that come out of college get hurt, I mean, it's not over, but there's no up. There's the teams see that there's no upside.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, you're coming out of college your best potential, and when you're 26 coming out of college, it's like okay, like, and you get one big injury, that might be your career right there. So, I can see why they're a little lenient with starting him still. Because I mean, he also really hasn't done anything, but has he really gotten a shot? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Falcons are an interesting team, but they could be really good just with the right quarterback. But I don't think two is the answer.
Exactly. Their big issue is quarterback. They have a lot of other pieces, but those pieces are not getting utilized right now. And
I
again,
mean,
I
Bijan
just
and Algier can only do so much.
yeah, I agree. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. I mean, maybe in camp there will be an interesting story we can talk about in terms of
Yep.
the inevitable competition between the two of them. But I don't see the move right now. I don't
Nope.
see it. Okay, guys, moving on to the next story. Okay. Let's break this down, Eric. Malik Willis starts one game in 2025. One. Not two, not five, not 10. He started one game when Jordan Love was out. Okay. And admittedly, it was a really solid game it was Baltimore? Am I remembering that right? It was a late season game. I want to say it was Baltimore. And he played really good in the game. Okay. He ran. He was a threat with his legs. I mean, he had a very good game. I remember when Love got hurt against Chicago when he came in relief and won the game for them. But those were his two appearances in 2025. So what do the Miami Dolphins do? They give him $67.5 million for a guy who has a career record as a starter of, get this, Eric, 3-3. A starting quarterback with a career record of 3-3 got $67.5 million. Oh my God. Okay, let's break this down. I understand that Jeff Hafley has come over from Green Bay and is now the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, he knows Malik Willis well. He and Malik Willis love each other. I'm sure that was a major reason why Willis chose to go here. I also recognize that the Dolphins are probably trying to really course correct, right? Tua is someone who couldn't get hit, so he couldn't use his legs. You're getting a quarterback who can now use his legs. This is a new setup for Miami. Miami hasn't had a running quarterback in a while. This could now you have a quarterback who can potentially do both. I can understand that vision as well. However, 2 games does not determine. I mean, what's he going to do in the dog days in November when we're in the heat of the regular season and he's been running all year? What is he going to do? I mean, I don't know if his legs are going to hold up. I don't know if he's an injury risk because he hasn't played. I think I can see the vision. He was obviously one of the quarterbacks who you could argue earned a shot at getting a starting gig. And for maybe $40 million total, I can maybe see giving him that much money. But for 67.5, I think the Dolphins way overpaid. I think they're trying desperately to course correct from Tua and Mike McDaniel, and they overpaid to make that happen. And I don't hate the move for the Dolphins. I think it could work out. I just think they gave them way too much money, and I don't know. I just think it's really risky. It's riskier than I think a lot of the pundits would suggest. The pundits are going nuts for Malik Willis. Um, I do not judge you off of 2 appearances in 2025. I need to see you deliver over a period of time, and he has yet to do that. And I do not think anyone who hasn't played for a period, for an extended period of time deserves $67.5 million. I think it's an overpay, and yeah, we'll see if it could work out for Miami, but they spent too much.
Yeah, really weird signing, and he was named as the top prospect, um, for free agency, which
And
is
I get that. I understand that.
I don't know. Well, I if you look at it this way, there's no injury risk because he, like you said, he hasn't played, but he's
Yeah,
only in his what 3 4 years he's been in the league. He's played 22 games, and he
yeah,
started only 6 of them,
yeah, yeah.
and he's three
Yep,
and three. I
yep.
mean, yeah, he has an 85% whatever passing completion rate, but if you only play and if you only play 22 games, it's not that impressive. And he's only thrown 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I mean, there's not, but like it's hard to judge it because there's not enough really to go off of,
There's
other
nothing.
than the fact
You're
he
right.
really doesn't have any game experience, which is pretty big. I mean, honestly, like that's a story of its own. That
Yeah,
he might not have enough game experience because yeah, he was behind Jordan Love, which he's young too. So I mean, I understand the move, and honestly, great for him. He honestly robbed the Dolphins,
he
of
did.
getting $67 million.
Did he have
That's
Kirk Cousins' agent?
what?
Did he have Kirk Cousins' agent?
Yeah, he must have, man. I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, he robbed them. You gotta feel happy for him at this point because he really, like you said, he really hasn't had a shot. He's been a pretty solid backup, but that's about it. Because I mean, it's hard to get in the game with Jordan Love. Now, obviously, he's a little bit more injury prone now, but still, it's hard to get in the game when you have a good quarterback like Jordan Love in. So this is a good opportunity for him to kind of prove himself because he really hasn't had the chance to. And that's
yeah,
not really his fault, but there's just not enough film on him for me to really say that this is a great signing.
yeah.
Um, so I'm really not too sure. I don't really know enough about him.
Yeah, look,
So
here's the thing. I don't blame him at all. If someone offers you
no, no, no.
67.5, if someone offers you that much money with how little game time he has, you take that. You don't even look at the contract. You're like, where do I sign?
Yeah,
Especially with Jeff Halfley being there. But
exactly, man.
I really think this is an overpay. I think I
Big
knowing
overpay.
the Dolphins, this could easily blow up in their face, right? Easily. This is the kind of
Good.
organization where they make a move on paper and it looks really good, and then it goes nowhere. Tyreek Hill. I mean, I can go down the list, man. I mean,
Yeah.
all the moves that you think would make the team level up, and then they don't. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
it is good though. I mean, with him being able to rush, because that just opens up the RPO, and with him and Achan, I mean, that's going to be huge. If he can run it well, that is, because he probably hasn't ran a lot of RPOs. But if they can get him into like an RPO heavy scheme, that's huge. Because I mean, he can throw the ball pretty well. So It's gonna be fun to watch if it works out. Which I hope it does. I really like Malik Willis. But because I like to see him get a shot. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's good. I mean, I guess for a starting quarterback though, you have to look at it as it's a pretty reasonable deal. Because I mean, you're seeing these quarterbacks get hundreds of millions of dollars.
Very true.
So 67 million, that's not that bad for a
Yeah.
starting quarterback. It's just interesting that it's going to a guy like Malik Willis. That's all.
That's a very good point. Quarterbacks are getting Trevor Lawrence is making $50 million a year. Like,
Right.
I mean, quarterbacks are making obscene amounts. So from that perspective, you're right. The Dolphins are paying nothing. I'd give him 40.
But
I do not think I'd give
but
him
then
60.
again, I mean, he has 155 career pass attempts, so it's hard to go off of.
I get it, but I don't know, man. Those legs, I can totally see his legs giving out halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Like someone who like him, he doesn't go in games, so he hasn't had to use his legs that much. I mean, I can totally see a situation where week 10 he just runs out of gas and gets slammed by a corner. Like
Yeah.
I can totally
Yeah.
see that happening. So we'll see, but I don't know. I think they overpaid, man. I really do.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but you have to remember they're also eating a bunch of Tua's dead cap too. Like I think it's $99 million or something crazy, which
Yeah,
is the
that's
most in the
yeah.
league.
They probably didn't have a lot of money to use to get a new QB,
Yeah. So I don't
but
know. I mean, it could be good, but I guess it's a solid deal. But he didn't really earn it. But still, good chance for him. If I'm Malik Willis, I love it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's having a great day.
Yeah.
Good for I have nothing against him, but
No.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
Okay, guys, moving on. The next story. This doesn't have as much to do with free agency because no one's pulled the trigger on him yet, deservedly so. But Kyler Murray was cut by Arizona. A quarterback who Eric had so much promise, right? So much potential. Um, Everyone questioned why he didn't go to baseball. Remember, he was a baseball
Yeah.
prospect as well, and everyone was baffled that he went to
Well, he got
football.
drafted.
Considering, yeah, he did get drafted. I don't remember by who, but he got drafted early, I believe,
Yeah.
and he chose to stay to play football. And that move has not worked at all.
No.
um, he has consistently the NFLPA gave the Arizona Cardinals an F. So I'm not defending, I recognize that Kyler Murray had, basically no support within the organization he was in, but he has just been atrocious. He has moments of brilliance, but is so maddeningly inconsistent that it's hard to watch him at times. And yeah, Arizona had no choice but to cut him. It's been a couple days since he was cut, and I expected a team like we were just talking about Atlanta, right? I expected a team like Atlanta to potentially pick him up, maybe the Steelers, right, who are looking for a quarterback. No team has pulled the trigger on him yet, and a couple teams are already picking other quarterbacks over him, like the Jets just traded for Geno Smith.
Yep.
And, that's a prime, location for Kyler Murray. And they chose Geno Smith over him. The Jets chose Geno Smith over Kyler Murray. The Jets, people. That is really bad for Kyler Murray. I just feel that this guy is the ultimate flash in the pan quarterback. Someone who just really does not have the size
No.
to be the dual threat that they want him to be. I mean, he is very stocky, he is big, but he doesn't have the size to be a dual threat. And Arizona was misusing him constantly. Cliff Kingsbury was an idiot when he was the head coach. I totally recognize that. Jonathan Gannon was a disaster. But I feel like the best quarterbacks can kind of make up for that, and Kyler Murray is not one of them. The fact that other teams are going after other temporary QBs over him is very telling.
Yep.
People analysts on ESPN were calling him a horrible leader. Like on national TV, they were calling him a terrible leader. That's really, really bad. This guy just really really fell apart, man. I don't feel bad because again, I was never one of these Kyler believers, but I
Me
mean,
neither.
I just yeah, it's very rough for it's very rough for him, but it's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, me personally, I'm not a fan of Kyler Murray. I don't think
Yeah,
he's good. He's overrated. Um, and the fact that like you said, a lot of teams are picking like Geno Smith and Malik Willis over him, who I mean, he's probably a better talent than them, but they see him, I guess not. Like you said, he's small. His arm isn't that good. He has maybe like that Hail Murray or whatever to D Hop years ago. That was probably his best play I've seen in recent memory, and that was so long ago. So it seems like right now the top teams that he might go are the Vikings or the Steelers.
oof,
Um, if he goes to the Vikings, which I don't even know if they'll make that move. I wouldn't, to be honest. Just see if JJ McCarthy stick him out one more year. The 2027 draft class looks pretty good. Um, so just stick with him. You don't need Kyler Murray to come in and do whatever he does and then maybe win you some games and you don't have a good draft pick and then you miss out on maybe a good quarterback.
yeah,
So I think if the Vikings sign him, that's probably one of the worst moves you can have. But I mean, we'll see. I feel like you just have to stick with JJ McCarthy, even though he's not good. You
I
just stick with
agree.
him.
I agree.
And for the Steelers, I mean, yeah, it might be a good move because it's either probably that Aaron Rodgers or Will Howard. So none of those really sound too appetizing. Yeah, you could go with Will Howard and just like the JJ McCarthy route, see what he does. If he sucks, you wasted a 6th-round pick on him. Oh well. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be tough for Kyler Murray to maybe even find a job. Which is surprising because he's good, but I don't like him that much. He's gonna get a lot of praise from the media. A lot of people are gonna be talking about him like, oh, why don't you go for Kyler Murray? I don't think it's bigger than that. I don't think he's that good.
Agreed.
So he makes a lot of careless decisions. He scrambles way too much, but he's not really that good. He's too small. I mean, the list goes on and on. So it's really interesting. And the Cardinals let him go for a reason, So
Mm,
it's like,
yeah,
at what point does it stop? Teams can keep taking chances on him. I don't think it's gonna work out anywhere with him, to be honest. I think his career is honestly gonna take a sharp decline. But I don't know. That's just
yeah.
me. That's
I
just
No, I agree with you. This guy has had opportunity after opportunity after
yeah.
opportunity to level, and he
And
has
it's not
yet to
like he
do
didn't
so.
have a good team around him in Arizona these past couple years. I mean, he had Marvin Harrison Jr., who was one of the best college players in recent memory.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and then, James Conner, he's a solid back too.
He is.
I mean, he has opportunities, he has receivers, and he doesn't execute. So, I mean, at what point, and props for the Cardinals for finally letting him go. They had him since 2019. Um, so yeah, I don't see it. You got your payday, you had your, couple years of fame, but I think this is kind of where his career kind of goes off the rails and he doesn't really resurrect it, honestly. I think he's just going to be one of those
Yeah,
quarterbacks that are kind of left in the dust and seen as a bust almost.
yeah. I agree with that. I agree.
Is it
Yeah, it's
crazy
just
to say that Kyler Murray's a bust? But I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think we're at the point where he
I mean,
might
he hasn't
have
done
to.
anything.
I know, but he. Uh,
I know a
I
lot of
think we
people
have to
aren't going to
call.
agree with that. But I mean, he's borderline, man. I mean, he was great coming out of college and he hasn't done anything. So,
Yeah, I think we're this close to calling him one. I think people were
yeah.
willing to give him a chance, considering how rough his first 2 or 3 years were in Arizona. But it's continued to be bad. It's not like it. It's not like the situation around him got better and he turned it around.
Right.
He's had so many opportunities,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
it,
He's had
I think it's
one I think he has like one winning season.
Yeah.
as a starter.
Yeah. Really not good. Not good.
No,
Um,
not at all.
okay. But yeah, no, I think the guy is just a, you know, waste of time. I'm not surprised teams are passing
Yeah,
on him. And
no.
I wish him the best, but I don't think that I don't think it's gonna I don't think he's gonna end up in a great situation or
No.
anything like that. So it is what it is. He had opportunities, it didn't work,
Yep.
and we'll see how it works out. But yeah, I just is yeah. Again, I don't really feel bad for the guy. He's had chances, so
No, he's had a million chances, and the Cardinals even re-signed him for that huge deal he had, so I don't feel bad for him. He got paid, but he
yeah,
sucks. It's just what it is what it is.
yeah, you're right, 100%. Okay, guys, moving on to the last story that we're going to cover today on the show. Um, the Chicago Bears have traded DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills. Absolutely massive move for both teams. Let's start with the Bears, Eric. Um, they didn't need him. They have Roma Dunze. They have Colson Loveland.
Yeah.
They don't need him. And so if you don't need one of your receivers, you trade from your excess to get pieces that you need. They ended up trading DJ Moore as well as their 2026 fifth for a 2026 second round pick. So I think that's actually very valuable. We'll see who the Bears end up drafting with that pick. We'll know next month, but um, it's going to be really interesting to see where the Bears go from there. I honestly think it's totally okay because again they have other receivers. It's not like they're getting rid of their one big piece for nothing. They have plenty of talent on offense. Um, I think it's a solid move for them. As for the Bills, this is massive. We've been complaining about how Josh Allen has had no weapons for so long. And he is a veteran presence in Buffalo. He's worked with Joe Brady, as well. And I think honestly, I think this is a trade that is great for both sides. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say that.
I think this is a great trade all around.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, this is big news for DJ Moore. I'm pretty happy if I'm DJ Moore. Even though he had a great season last year, he was kind of in the shadow of Roma Dunze. But now he can shine in Buffalo with Josh Allen. I mean, that's who wouldn't want that?
Yeah,
I mean, you basically go from contender to a better contender. So, I mean, it's a win-win. And for the Bears, that like you said, that's huge. They had a boatload of wide receivers and even tight ends that they could throw the ball to, and even guys out of the backfield like DeAndre Swift. So you don't really need them.
yeah,
So yeah, I like this move a lot because it was almost, and I said this when we covered some Bears games. Roma Dunze will have 100-some yards. DJ Moore will put up 0 yards. And then it flip-flops. Roma Dunze puts up 0 yards, and DJ Moore's a great game. So it was almost like they were competing for each other with each other the entire season, which that's not how a wide receiver 1 and 2 should be. So I think this is a really good move for Chicago. Um, and now with Josh Allen throwing the ball to an actually good receiver, they finally have a wide receiver one, other than Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman, who's not even good.
yeah,
So yeah, this is big news, and he
yeah.
gets paid. So you gotta love it for DJ Moore. If I'm DJ Moore, I like it a lot. So yeah, this is big. This might be bigger, not bigger news, but it's big news. It's probably second to the Max Crosby ordeal. So
I would agree with
yeah.
that. This gives the Bills the wide receiver one that they desperately needed.
It does, because Keon Coleman, he's young, he's immature, and he's not a wide receiver 1. He's maybe wide
Yeah,
receiver 2. Maybe. He's just scraping by. And Khalil Shakir, I mean, he was what, a 5th, 6th round pick? So you're
yeah,
not really expecting him to be that good. He's more of a wide receiver 3. So they were missing out. They were trying to fill a young player who's immature, like Keon Coleman, into that role, and that's just never going to work out. I mean, you see what happens with, George Pickens and Juju Smith-Schuster on the Steelers, for example. It's not
yeah.
going to work. So this is big, and this is really good I mean, DJ Moore, great player, so
Yep.
and, Josh Allen's gotta love it too. I mean,
Yeah.
finally,
Yeah.
right? I mean, yeah, we've been talking about it this entire season that they needed a wide receiver 1, so,
Yeah.
yeah, really good move for both sides.
Yep. Completely agree. Yeah, this is I like this trade a lot.
You just gotta hope that Josh Allen doesn't get hurt, because
Yeah.
without Josh Allen, I mean, the Bills are nothing.
Agreed.
Oh,
Agreed. It really does depend on him as per usual, right? That's
yeah, I
always the
mean,
case with them with Buffalo, you know.
if he gets hurt, Buffalo's the New York Jets,
Yeah,
so,
you're right. You're right.
yeah.
100%. Okay, guys, that is all the news that we have chosen to cover on this episode of the Catching the Facts podcast. Thank you all so very much for listening to Eric and I just geek out about sports. It's it's a highlight of the week for me. And yeah, it's just a blast to do. So thank you guys so much for listening. As always, we post on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please like, comment, follow, and subscribe on both platforms. It helps get the word out about our show. We will be back in 2 weeks, guys. Again, we're posting this the day that free agency officially opens in the National Football League. So the deals that have already been announced will officially go through, and then you're going to get a slew of other deals that happen. So we're going to have plenty of news to cover in a couple weeks when we return. And yeah, it'll be fun. Eric, you have anything else to add before we go?
I don't think so. Just, like, comment, and subscribe, so
Yeah, guys.
see some comments in there.
Absolutely, I agree. We need some. We love the discussion. So yeah,
Yeah.
please, we encourage you all to comment. It'd be fun.
Yep,
So yeah, guys, that is it for this episode of Catching the Facts. We will see you in 2 weeks. Until then, I'm your host Dan Sisk,
and I'm Eric Schroeder.
and we'll see you then.